My name is Alex Okorigwe, popularly known as Alexo. I am from Mbano, Imo State, Nigeria, and of course, Africa. And I welcome my fans, my lovely fans, to the program. I love this program, and I would like them to follow me on this journey for getting more information, more discoveries about me, my life, and my career.
So how have you been?
I've been okay. I've been doing okay. Thanking God for each day.
Can you be so nice as to tell us your secret? How you've been able to keep fit and look still so young and sexier than before?
Oh, okay. All glory, honor, adoration, and praise will continue to be to the Almighty God. He is the one who keeps us the way we are, and He is the one who gives us longer life. So we're grateful to Him till the end of time.
So what have you been doing behind the scene for all these years? It's looked like you've not been around.
My career peaked as a musician, and I needed to find ways to upgrade myself. I needed to travel, experience how things are done outside Nigeria, especially recording and playing music, and then study as well. But I never left music. Most people don't have that idea that I never left music. So while I was outside Nigeria, I was always performing different concerts, shows, different countries, and I also ran my studio. I was also recording jingles, producing music, soundtracks for a whole lot of people that needed my services. So I've always been in music. I never left music.
So did you at any point study while you were away abroad, and what did you study?
Yes, I studied digital film, video and animation production. I always had the urge to, move into visuals, having been into music, and audio for all my life. So when the opportunities came, I had to grab them with both hands, armed with the skills of not only music production, but also visuals production.
Oh, now we understand better. You studied this abroad, because we've seen some of your graphic works and they look so great. So these graphics and animation that you do, you use them to produce visual arts for advertisements, music videos, and so on. Could you tell us more about that?
Yes, like I said, I had to go into it because both of them are equally part of the arts, and if you are into the audio works, you will also help if you are in the visuals as well. So we're doing more or less audio and visuals. That's audio visuals business. And I have been working with a whole lot of producers from Nollywood, even some from the US, from outside Nigeria, a couple of other countries. When I produce the audio tracks, I am asked to produce the music videos. So I have always been doing that. I've also been working on movies as well. Some of them are going to be coming out very soon. I've also worked with a couple of very popular Nollywood producers. So it's not been an easy journey, but gradually we're getting in there, up the ladder in the industry in Nigeria.
Okay, let's take you back a little bit to the point where you realized you could sing. At what age was it, and at what point did your music career eventually get started?
Okay, usually when somebody is gifted in music, talking about the talents now, they usually pick it up as early as in the primary school, joining the school band, the school choir, and all that. And mine was no different. I actually started from the primary school. I was actually playing congas and singing in a local band, from when I was before 10 years, I can tell you. So it's always been there. Music has always been there. And then during the secondary school, it continued. I used to run away from the dormitory on Friday evening straight to take the night bus and go to Lagos to look for opportunities to have my songs recorded. So I've always been singing, and I've always known that I had the talent. I discovered it early, so all I needed to do was to continue to look for where the channels were and then be able to put it all out there.
So did you get any form of training for this music that you eventually went into?
Yes. Luckily for me, when I came to Lagos, I can say I tried a little bit, tried here and there, couldn't get sponsorship, couldn't get a record contract from the big record companies. I saw a man with his Voices group performing, and that's the late Uncle Steve Rhodes on TV. So I asked my friends to help me locate where his office was, and we were able to locate him, and I spoke to him, begged him to help me out, and he accepted. And for 1 year, 6 months, he put me through training, in singing. He had to teach me the rudiments, the basics of singing, after which I now started moving on towards learning how to produce music. And that was under Lemmy Jackson, and then from then I now got empowered with the skills of both singing and putting music together. So I was able to get it all to move forward from there.
So at what point did you get signed on to a label?
Okay, the moment after spending some time with Uncle Steve Rhodes, I wanted more than what he was doing. I wanted to release records. So I located Lemmy Jackson, tried to get him to put me onto the Twilight Records. Twilight Records just released Terracotta. If you remember the song, Tell Me If You Know the City Called Sodom. Yeah, it was a hit song then. So I tried to see if I could get into that record label. But Lemmy Jackson said, no, I want you, I'm going to sign you onto my own personal label, not the Twilight Records. And that's how I got signed onto Lemmy Jackson. And he wasn't actually very ready to start releasing my songs then. So what happened was an opportunity that also came along out of that. And that was like following him to work in the studios every day, every studio session, that he had. So that offered me the opportunity to start to learn how to put music together, and I thank God for that opportunity, because that's what's been helping me throughout all my career and still helping me up to this moment.
So with Lemmy, do you remember some of the people you worked with to produce their work?
Yes. If you go to the back of the sleeves of songs, artists like Ras Kimono, The Mandators, Julie Peep, Princess Bumi Olajubu, Fumi Adams, so many of them. If you go to the back, you will see all that I did there. Most of them, my voice was there as part of the backup vocals, and many of them also I arranged the songs. Some of them I wrote, even as young as I was then. It's been a very exciting journey, and I thank God for all the opportunities that came my way, and I'm also glad that I took them.
So was it more difficult to get a music label sign you on then than now?
Yes, because you have only 5 or 6 record companies to face over 1,000 and more artists who were looking for opportunities to get out there. What was needed from you was to make sure that your music was good enough, your lyrics made a lot of sense enough, how you put it together was good enough for any of the record companies to say, okay, let's give you an opportunity. So it was more difficult then than it is now. Now, everybody has a studio, and the studios are mainly a laptop, a sound card, and a small keyboard that you can use as a trigger to put your notes in there. And the moment you have all of this, and then of course, the speakers to hear what you're putting down out, the moment you have all of this, you have a studio. All the mixers and everything, and they're all in the software now. So you just install and then you start recording, And as time goes on, you continue to improve on what you have and what it is that you're doing. And then the sound starts to get better. It's a lot easier now than then. So all you need to do is look for some uncle who has a little bit of money, or elder brother who has a little bit of money to support you. After you record your music and mix it, promo is the next thing. And then you have family or whoever is around to help you, to give you some money, and then you start to do the promo, and then your journey has started. So it's a whole lot easier now than it was then.
Now let's take a look at your hit track, Celebrate. It's evergreen and it's still making waves in Europe and America till today. Did you know that the song would be as big as it became and eventually turned out to be an evergreen one when you were recording it?
One thing that I know about putting music together, hits, okay, maybe one or two, a few here and there can come out accidentally. You have to organize your song, you have to organize your lyrics, you have to organize the music and structure them to make a hit for you. That's the way it has to work. However, sometimes some people get lucky. They just have somebody to help them to put something together and they sing something on top of it. Okay, it goes fine. You're lucky. But what happens second time, third time around? You may not be lucky. But if you want to consistently be making hits, you have to consistently continue to work on the songs that you want to go out there and get attention. They don't come by accident. It's like any other in any other profession. If you want to create a masterpiece, you have to sit down, walk through the night, walk through the day. You have to make sure you put all the elements and ingredients that will get everybody's attention. That is the way it works.
Okay. Now, if we take a look at this journey you've described so far and compare with all the other artists during your time, would you be able to share with us some of the challenges you guys faced back then in the days?
Those days, well, with some of my colleagues, it was a difficult time for everybody, not only the musicians. You can imagine you hopping into a vehicle and going to the east to look for somebody. The moment you get there, they say, oh, he just left going to Lagos to look for you. There were no telephones, no mobile phones, nothing. So sometimes when I look back and see some of the things we achieved, I can not do anything else but say that it was God that was behind us, that helped us to achieve all those. You would be given, let's say, 8 studio sessions of 8 hours each to do 10 songs, start to finish, about 8 sessions. That's like some miracle of some sort. You're going to have to work hard. Rokata before again I got studio. You got married here we in achieve given a studio before again I got. Otherwise, you run a studio. Come when I call a chapota Russia, you know do well. Your music will be sounding like rice when they put sand inside, and it got difficult for people to accept them. So it was very difficult that time. You had to work hard, before you go to the studio. So when you get into the studio, no minute is wasted. You just continue to dump all the ideas and everything you planned from home. You have to put them all in so that everything has to work quickly for you to finish. Because if you don't finish, you're on your own. Oh.
So it means the music scene was a bit difficult that time.
Absolutely difficult. It was not easy, but we thank God.
How was the music scene then?
Yes, the music scene then, you needed to be confident in what you were doing, what you were putting together. And that meant that you needed to practice, you needed to learn one instrument or the other, you needed to be prepared before you actually step out onto the limelight. Because the major issue that time was not to release a song that's making headlines, it's the staying power that was the major challenge. When you come out, what happens the next time around? The same thing now also. Some artists, they just release one song, Akukotv, Okanyo, nobody knows what happens to you next. So you have to be prepared. You have to prepare before you step out, before you get into the studio. You have to at least learn like any other skills that you're trying to get into. You have to learn how to do things. You have to learn how, at least learn the keyboard, learn the guitar to be able to help you to put your music together. And we had to do all of those, and that's why we're still relevant till today, thanking God as well.
So if you were to put both ages together, yours and now, what would be the major advantages you see now with the youth, the artists of today over yours?
I can say that because of the nature of the economy at that time, not many people had enough resources to start looking towards pleasure. Like something like music, going to watch Alexo's show, going. Some people needed to sacrifice a couple of things before they go to attend our shows those days. Unlike now, people have extra cash to spend to go and have a good time. When you put up a show that time, you first of all have to pray for it not to rain, because if it rained, how do you get the audience to come out? Today you sell it one table 1 million. 2 weeks before the show comes up, you have sold all the tickets and the whole hall is full. So whether the people come or they don't come, the money is in the bag already. You're not going to suffer too much. Unlike that time, I remember one show I had in Warri. The promoter was not keen at paying my balance before I came up on stage, and I insisted he must pay my balance. I'm saying, nah, if you don't bring the money, I'm not coming out. And it was raining that night. By the time we delayed, dragging by my balance, because if you come out and you don't get your balance, the promoter will run away. You're not going to get your money anywhere. So we had to plead with everybody to keep calm, and we managed to be able to do that show. So we needed to do everything to protect all that we were doing that time, because there were a whole lot of fraudulent promoters that time. Unlike now you sell your tickets and everything before the day of the show. They are lucky. We did more of the shows. They are doing more of the show business.
What about the advantage of technology?
Yes, and of course, technology changed everything. Technology changed everything, from the recording sessions to even managing your ticket sales and everything, contacts, phone call, WhatsApp groups, and all the platforms that are online right now, helping to promote. When I released my maxi single, I remember having to travel with the A&R manager, Big Boss Dindisi. We traveled to every radio station, every TV station, every newspaper house, every nightclub in southern Nigeria within 1 week. From Lagos to Calabar, from Calabar back to Yoto, it's the same process. But now you can reach everybody online. You don't have to physically take the records to the radio stations. This time around, you just upload and forward to everybody. Everybody has the links and everything. So technology has made it much easier when it comes to the comparison between our time and this time around.
Now, still talking technology, how can we look at your relationship with your fans then? Because then there was no social media. How did you celebrities then relate with your fans?
Well, most of the times, what people did then was reading the newspapers to get more information, watching your videos on TV and interviews on radio stations. Whenever there's a show for you to go and perform, everybody will make sure they're there. It was a challenging time. But we thank God for all that we were able to achieve that time.
How do you relate with your fans today?
Yeah, well, everybody's online now. The moment you make a post, everybody comments and they say what they want to say, send you messages. It's a whole lot easier now than then. And we also need to be a bit more careful how we relate to them now, because when you're careless about what you put out there, one single post can mar or make whatever it is that you're trying to build up. So one has to be a bit more careful. Unlike most of the younger musicians, they're just throwing everything all out there. Some of them work for them, some don't work, some work against them. So one has to be a bit more careful. But we appreciate the new dispensation.
So what are your social media handles, and do you handle them yourself?
Yeah, I have a manager, a very, very experienced manager, very caring manager. Sometimes I do post stuff. Sometimes she handles most of it. On Facebook, I have Alex Ogugwa Okorigwe. Instagram, official.alexo. X, formerly known as Twitter, is alexo812, while TikTok is alexo_music.
So, being on social media and all the impact, do you think that it has done today's society more good than harm?
It can be good, it can be bad. It all depends on how you engage and how considerate you are and how careful you are out there. Some people do take advantage of scandals to be able to trend more and see what they can get out of it. And other people like myself, I prefer people getting to read more about me for the works that I do, the good things that I do, than the bad things that come off.
Way back then, who were your role models?
I used to listen a lot to Akukotv. I used to listen to Felix Liberty. And then when I started my journey, Lemmy Jackson was, Uncle Steve Rhodes was, the late Uncle Steve Rhodes. May his soul rest in perfect peace. And then overseas, the Shalamar group, Dynasty, those were the guys who helped to shape me into what I became today. And I thank God for them having crossed my paths.
Oh, we can see where some of the influences you had came from, because as far as we know, you're the first person to start choreographed dancing and singing. We used to call you African Michael Jackson. We didn't even know that you're in Nigeria, not to talk of being a one for Igbo. Were you influenced by Michael Jackson?
Every musician of our time was influenced by what Michael Jackson was doing. Michael Jackson was the ultimate. And then we had the other artists, the different record labels coming in. Like I said, the Dynasty, the Shalamar, Whispers, and a whole lot of them. Yes, they added to the influence, because the kind of music I was doing was more or less what they were also doing. So they influenced me a lot. But I needed at some point to add local elements like the pidgin rap and Igbo chorus, Yoruba lines, and other elements for Nigerians to identify more with what I was doing. And it paid off at the end of the day.
So let's come back to the present. What do you have to say about today's artists and the genre Afrobeats that seem to be making waves now?
Yes, I think the music that's making waves right now, came as a result of the experimentations, the fusions here and there we were making through the years in trying to find the kind of music that will work, for us in this country. And I think all that's going on right now came as a result of all the hard work we put in. It can be labeled Afrobeats or whatever anybody wants. It's just a tag. It's just a tag for those who want to give awards and create a category for the African music. But at the end of the day, it's African music, but modernized, modified for international consumption.
So now, who are your 5 top Nigerian artists today?
That's a difficult one. Okay. Obviously, we have Wizkid, we have Burna Boy, we have Davido, we have P Square, and who else comes? Tiwa Savage. Good. And then the younger one that's coming up, Ira Star and Thames, of course. They're doing very well. And we applaud them each time they come out.
Now, if we were to listen to your playlist right now, what are the top 3 songs we definitely would find there?
Then go Feel It. Feel It by Davido. That's one very good song. And then I have Stability by Ira Star. I also would like to mention Ihe Geme, Put Your Hands Up in the Air by P Square. Oh my God, a wonderful song. And if I'm to add 2 extra, I love Flavor. Boya DK, yeah. Boya DK. That's a lovely one also. And I also love the songs from Fino. Beautiful rap song. Just that some of the words are a bit uncomfortable. I've gone beyond 3 now. Who again do I remember? Okay, let's leave it at 3. Okay.
Can you tell us a bit about your own new songs, the ones you just released, and where we can stream them?
The first new single that I put out there was Munachi. Munachi is a song that encourages everybody who is going through one difficult challenge or the other not to give up. Sooner or later, a tap will be opened by the Almighty God. Difficult times are not going to last for too long. They're not going to last forever. That's Munachi. The second one, a dance song as well. Take a break. In the middle of all the hard work you do, where you have to take a break and enjoy yourself, have some good time, because life is too short. Anyone that you didn't enjoy, that one don't lose, so body no be wood.
Streaming?
Yes, and then you can stream all the platforms. Apple Music, they're all out on all platforms. So please go out there, stream the songs, and we have more singles coming up, and a couple of more singles, then the full album will come out. Like, share, download, spread as much as possible, and God will bless you more.
So streaming, CDs, cassettes, vinyl, and so on, which would you prefer?
Any of the channels, will work. Streaming is for the now times, because these days the CDs, the DVDs, the cassettes, and they're no more in circulation. You don't even have the players anymore. So streaming, the only problem I have with streaming is when they say somebody has streamed 1 billion, you've had 1 billion streams, you expect that at least the money will come up to $1 million or $2 million. The streaming figures are not adding up, and we must look into why it's not adding up. Another way has to come up for people to be able to be remunerated appropriately when their works go out there and people are using them.
So in your catalogs, how many albums do you have? And are they all streaming? Can they all be found, old and new, on streaming platforms?
The new ones, yes, they are. The old songs, I think so. They are still being marketed and managed by Premier Music, the record label. When somebody searches out there, one will find them. But we have been in talks recently that will facilitate the possibility of remixing all the old songs, modernizing them, and making them to come out new again, so that they will continue to trend for a much longer period of time.
How many albums in your catalog?
I think so far close to 60 songs, 5 records, and the songs that have been in between, like Shine Like a Star, which was a collaboration song I did with Prince Amaho, a Nigerian pop star based in Germany, and a couple of the other ones. Something is another song that's out there. And then, which other one? I have quite a lot of them out there.
What advice would you give to the young and upcoming artists, at least with your experience, past and present?
For the younger artists, the message has always been clear and out there, and that is, be patient. Even as you embark on a journey that might take a little longer, full of challenges, potholes along the way, be patient while you work hard. Unfortunately, some of the younger artists of these days want it like microwaved, for it to be quick, and and then that whole attitude leads them to all kinds of very dangerous decisions that come with consequences, that you didn't think would be there when the time comes, but they are real. They things that when you force your way through certain things unnaturally, you're going to experience the consequences. The repercussions will be there. So I suggest that as they are working hard, a bit of patience, and whatever the issues are between you and the record labels, try and resolve them amicably. Sometimes some of them are quick to want to get out and start their own, even breaking the contracts and all that. I don't think it's the best option. Finish your record contract, discuss, and then also the record labels should also pay attention to the needs of the artists that are doing well for them, remunerate them appropriately so that they will have the motivation to stay. That's the way life works. It cuts both ways. So I pray for God to bless them more, and for God to give them the wisdom for them to take the right decisions and do the right things.
Finally, is there anything else you would like to say to the world and your fans?
Okay, to my fans, I will say thank you always. I will say thank you for supporting me all through the years. I suddenly found out that I thought I didn't have many fans. I really do. Everywhere I go, people jump up and, oh, Alex, oh, Alex, oh. That's a blessing from the Almighty God. So I thank you all, my lovely fans, for all the support. Please continue to support me. The music has not finished. And then for Nigeria as a whole, please, I want to plead with every citizen of this country, even those in government, to pay attention. Please pay attention to whatever it is that will help to make this country a great country that it is destined to be. This country has so much of talented people, intelligent people, and we cannot afford to be going down when we have the best brains on this planet. Please, let's do whatever we have to do to move this country forward. Ụmụnna, biko, unu ewepụla anya, echenjili dial, tinye ya na Akụkọ TV, ka oke Chineke nyere anyị ka ọ na-egosi anyị otu ụbọchị si aga. My lovely people, please continue to watch Akukotv TV. It's a channel from above to help us improve our lives. Thank you so much.